That's it. So the internet's probably disappointed because they I want Final Fantasy 16, but it wasn't gonna happen. They were upfront about what was gonna be in this, and it's what we got. So there was one short part of a sizzle reel. So that's the Square-Enix Presents.
It was fine.
This isn't your thing.
Yeah, I mean, none of these titles are like really for me.
You don't have the connections to...
Strange.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest thing for you, right?
The Guardians game was of interest. That's pretty much it for me, I think, right?
Just about, yeah. Oh, this just has the Guardians thing in it. Well, we'll start there because that is how it started in our wrap-up. So, Fern said the one thing that was really interesting for them was the Guardians of the Galaxy game. It was heavily reported on before reveal, so folks kind of knew that this Guardians game was coming. Eidos Montreal developed. Yeah, completely single player game. I think that's the first thing that's stands out in my mind when I think back to this reveal. It's a completely single player experience, which is sort of surprising, considering it's a team. Like, you just you hear Marvel's Avengers. Okay, yeah, of course that makes sense. That's a multiplayer game, and so now Guardians of the Galaxy being this completely single player experience was truly a surprise. You play as Peter Quill. As much as they are trying to distance from the MCU as much as they can, they're still leaning into some of that stuff. I don't know how much the music thing was a big deal in the comics. I don't think it was that huge of a thing. Clearly, that was an MCU thing that's been brought in, and then Drax having very literal sense of humor, or lacking of sense of humor, more like. That's in here. Hero is still better in Shrek. Ragamuffin says. Yeah, I would say the first thing that stands out to me about this is as we said a few times while watching, they're taking advantage of the cosmic MCU or cosmic Marvel world. So they're really the locations seem so super varied. Lots of cool alien planets.
Yeah, I appreciate, the way that one planet we saw especially, not only playing with the landscape, but playing with, like, weird cosmic weather, like...
Yeah.
Types of things that you can be creative with that a lot of space games, for some reason, don't.
I see where you're going with that Dragon Age Inquisition thing, and I guess when I said, like, what other games have this many characters just around you at all times? I guess RPGs like Dragon Age do have that, but even then, it's like it's an RPG, so you do have some influence in what they do, and here it's like they're all just kind of rolling around while you fight, and so that was another interesting thing. Another thing they pointed out is that there's tons of choices in here, and so it feels very already reminiscent of Telltale games where you're making choices and they have major consequences to what happens in the game. For example, like in this trailer, they show Drax throwing Rocket across a giant gap to help the crew get over that gap. and you can decide not to go along with it or go along with it, and Rocket will remember, depending on which you choose. And so, and it even has that in the upper left corner, which is very Telltale The Walking Dead. Like, you would make a decision and it'll say, oh, they'll remember that, you know. So choices that they're really leaning into the single player systems here. It seems like the relationships you have with everyone are going to be big going forward. Another interesting thing was the combat seemed like encounter based, where each fight was its own thing. It wasn't like you could just fight all throughout a map, right? Like, you're not doing that. It's more like you enter a zone, start to fight, and that's the encounter. You're in that encounter, and you finish the encounter, and it flashes up a screen saying encounter finished, and here's your stats that you got from it, and all that kind of stuff. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. It just looks good. I'm definitely excited for it.
Literally part of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
What is your take on the Guardians of the Galaxy Square-Enix release?
I made no such commitment.
I'm pretty excited for it. I feel like I'm still a little uncertain, but after seeing the gameplay and, you know, like a little more of the story, I'm a little more convinced about the characters, just because, like, in the movies, you know, it's a really charming set of characters, like really good chemistry between them. So I'm hoping for a similar experience. You know, obviously not the MCU movie experience, but like
they understand it's about they say in this presentation part here where they're talking to the camera and stuff, it's about the misfit family, you know.
Yeah, that's what I really love about Guardians, so I'm hoping that comes across.
Yeah.
And, you know, it gave a little more of a look into it, not totally. It's sort of
which ones will make the best,
you know,
for
they
the
don't
story.
want to show all of that, I'm sure, but
yeah.
I just wanted to be sure that it was going to have that feel. And I think it will. I hope it does.
Yeah, and I like that they mentioned they wanted to bring in, you know, there's a ton of very iconic villains that the Guardians face. Obviously, Thanos is one that they face a lot in the comics.
It'll be cool to see new villains and
yeah, they wanted to
outside of Thanos.
they wanted to bring in something brand new.
Yeah.
It's trying to take the
which is
medium
great.
you're working in and make the best version of Guardians out of that.
They made it fun. They made it.
It's interesting. Yeah, I feel like it's going to be a mix in perspectives at times. It looks like there's some first-person sequences. Both there's that window mirror segment where he's kind of playing around with himself, playing with himself, you know, in his room.
Yeah.
But then there was another one that was in the other shot where he's at the helm of the ship, and it looked like that was like a first-person thing. Yeah, this is a fun little intro screen.
Mm-hmm.
I hope as it's the kind of game where that is the startup screen for throughout the whole thing, and as the story progresses and you're in different environments, maybe that changes as well.
37 units? Appear to be 6,900.
God, a Runaways game would be amazing.
To keep our ship people.
I wonder if that's out the window now though, because the Hulu show is like kind of gone, and they seem to be kind of relying on, you know, the properties that are active, and I think the Runaways aren't coming back either because it seems like the youth movement in the MCU right now is going to be the Young Avengers, and they're setting all that up. At least the Young Avengers has some gay, so there's that.
Yeah. Did we finish?
We never finished, so we were just like you, and we did all make a good decision.
I mean, I'll probably finish it eventually.
Yeah. But we'll probably finish and go, oh yeah, we didn't need to finish that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Guardians. I mean, yeah, and then they had this nice long extended gameplay segment
Honestly think Lady Hellbender will go for it.
Yeah, well, I vote for not. I also vote for the creepy little beast.
that showed a little bit of everything. They had choices here in the beginning. You get to vote who to sell to this Hellbender, and they head to a planet. Nice cinematic experiences here. This is what people wanted. This is more akin to what people were expecting from a Marvel's Avengers story mode that they didn't really get. Lots of big set pieces here as you're navigating this dangerous alien planet, and some uncharted level, you know, jump on this thing and oh, it's crashing to the ground. What's gonna happen now? You know, chaos. Combat encounters. Oh yeah, so one of the big things, yeah, is that even though you are playing as Peter, you can tap into all your other companions, and they each have 4 moves. It's just it looks way more engaging than you might think out the gate, especially considering you can only play as you're in direct control of Peter. It's funny to imagine. It would be fun because they don't always listen to him, so it'd be fun to imagine in combat you tell him to do a move, and if you say for example Rocket, right? You threw him and he's angry at you. If you try to get him to do a move and he just won't do it because he's pissed, could be fun. Yeah, it looks good. It just I'm not blown away, but I also know I will play it day one. You know, it's not something that's like. It's not one that seems, you know,
It'll be fine. Just curl up in a ball. What? Drax, throw him. No, very well. Peter. It's okay.
mind-blowing.
Yeah. I'll be excited to see more, you know, how reviews come out closer to release.
And since it's coming out so soon, I hope we just get to see more and more of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's coming out October 26th. So like basically 4 months away. So good on them. So actually, yeah, I have to go find the actual Square-Enix presentation because that was just that was just Guardians there. Oh, we got individual trailers here. Then they were talking about. Yeah, I'll just use these videos as my guide. They announced the Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster. I'm curious if there's. When they say Pixel Remaster, are they just like re-releasing these games as is, but you know, 1080p so that the pixels don't look too gross on a HD trailer? Or HD, well no, here, oh, actually, okay. You can kind of see what's changing here. The combat, it looks really, really nice here. Just a little polish on the pixels, it looks like. But on the whole, it's a similar looking. Well, no, because this is coming to Steam. Whatever this is. So it's not just the Steam release. It says coming soon. So it's a new thing. So, I mean, we'll have to wait and see what further enhancements are within them. Looks like they have the classic fast forwarding in combat and stuff as well. We'll see.
Yeah, I have no point of reference for that, so.
Again, it is nice to have the ability to just bundle all these games together and you know, have them all in one package. Yeah, we'll see. I think also we're going off the, you know, this shot, and you're not, kind of looks like there's maps. I don't know if maps. There was definitely no map in the original releases, so that's different again. Yeah, they really didn't show a lot here, so it's kind of a wait and see with what that's gonna turn into. Then they had Ragamuffin hyped for 3. I don't think this was actually what they showed, but oh no, it is. Legend of Mana is coming out later this month. Mana series is amazing. I didn't realize 30th anniversary for the series. Yeah, no, it's just a hidden gem on the PS1, I think. Really beautiful. They don't have the gameplay in here, but just some really beautiful backgrounds that are like turned into nice little paintings in this new re-release. Yeah, I'm stoked to finally be able to go back and play this again. I'm hitting a wall right now, chat. I'm running out. I haven't been drinking enough water. It's been a weird morning. Then they showed the Black Panther. So they were showing, it wasn't just straight into Black Panther. They showed kind of a look at the roadmap for Marvel's Avengers and what they've done so far and what they will continue to be doing. But the big tentpole moment for Marvel's Avengers right now is this Wakanda War for Wakanda DLC. I don't know. Do you think there's enough diehard Black Panther fans that they're like, okay, now this is the reason I will get Marvel's Avengers, you know?
I think there will be some, and also like paired with the fact that, there are some new things that they're still adding to it, it seems like, that they showed before this. But I don't know. Already I feel like this is totally off my radar, totally off the radars of like the people around me. Like, it was exciting until
it can't, and then until we realized what it was.
Yeah, and then it wasn't that exciting anymore, and it just has. Yeah, I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, is Black Panther enough to reignite that excitement?
For some, I'm sure. Yeah.
I still think
I think it also.
The major problem is it doesn't solve any of the deep-rooted issues with the game.
Yeah.
You're still fighting robots. They show in here you're just fighting robots, and that's a big problem. It's annoying. I don't know. It is exciting, and it looks like a really faithful, adaptation of a bunch of Black Panther stuff from the comics and from the movies. But it just doesn't feel like enough. It doesn't feel like enough. Then they showed a bunch of indie mobile games. Hitman Sniper, The Shadows. I like the idea in this that the bald Hitman boy. Yeah, for sure. There's definitely, I think since Black Panther came out, everyone's just very much like, we love ya. Wakanda forever, am I right? But yeah, Hitman Sniper The Shadows. The gimmick in this is that Hitman or Agent 47, the bald Hitman boy, is missing, and so you and all the other mobile players that'll be playing the game are coming together to fill in the gaps. And yeah, Hitman Sniper has been it's a fun little side thing that they've been making with alongside the Hitman games, where you're standing in one spot and you have to snipe all the baddies and do all kinds of interesting things with like getting people's attention sent certain ways by shooting certain things in the environment and knocking down chandeliers and that kind of thing. So makes sense to be a mobile release for sure. all these mobile games, this one, they announced the first ever Nier mobile game, Nier Reincarnation. Like this, and then the Final Fantasy VII Battle Royale that's on mobile right now. I just feel like I am interested in them. Let me somehow play them outside of my phone, please, because I don't know. I've really gotten out of mobile gaming if it's not just like a card game or, you know, something very simple.
Yeah.
To sit down and play a Nier game on my phone, it just does not appeal to me anymore. And so just give me the option. Give me some way to play it on my computer, you know. And then they had a long chunk of Babylon's Fall stuff. This was the first time during today's presentations where I felt the wall hitting me, so I was a little quieter while watching this. But I think it also just, like, it doesn't show anything new to me from, like, the action-adventure combat action game. I'm sure it'll be good. It's from Platinum Games. They make good action games, you know. But it's definitely like I need to wait and see. I do like the co-op vibes. Co-op is nice. It's been a little while. Like a Platinum co-op game just sounds fun. But yeah, I don't know. Just not a ton to latch onto here for me. And Fern, obviously, I know you're extremely hyped for it, but I gotta hold you back here, and you know, keep that hype in check.
I was snoozing through this one, y'all. I think I was ordering lunch during this one.
And then there was the Life is Strange section with the remastered collection.
Yeah, this is pretty much the only one that's like really relevant to me. Again,
I think it's a little funny because again, the style of the way they made these games in the first place, the art style stands fine as is.
Yeah.
So it's funny when they did let me find the exact moment where they were showing. Yeah, you know, like
our general consensus between us and in chat was it needed? No. But I mean, it can't hurt.
Yeah.
it looks good.
You're like, oh, this is a remaster? And then you're like, oh, you know, that's the remaster. They just like changed the contrast.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then I think later on you'll see, you know, there too, it's like, okay, the colors are a little more vibrant. I don't know, like
it's a little like clearer, a little more.
Here's where it's not coming through in this video, but like you could see a little more pores on this person's face and stuff. So there's like some texture there. This was actually the most drastic one.
Yeah.
Because you can actually tell she's crying for one.
Yeah.
And the general face just like got enhanced there. But yeah, on the whole, it's not like the most necessary remaster in the world.
Yeah. I don't think anyone was like, please remaster these games, but they did, and they look good.
Yeah, so. some better lighting and stuff. Yeah, and if it's also, I think, a way to bring these releases back to give people an excuse to check it out after maybe missing it the first time, that also helps.
It's probably just, you know, another way to sort of garner more excitement for True Colors coming out.
Yeah.
It's like,
well, it comes out like what, a couple days before True Colors, so like, does that really? It comes out after True Colors. So, if anything, it's the other way around. Again, I think that it's like, hey, did you play Life is Strange 2? Or have you checked out now Life is Strange True Colors? And you're curious about the rest of the franchise? Well, here, you can play the first game and the spin-off prequel game.
yeah. I mean, I think it'll work both ways, you know. Just having more Life is Strange, you know, out in the ether.
Yeah.
for people to be excited about
Yeah.
coming out.
And talking about Life Strange.
Just bringing it back into the general
The cultural conscious. Then they showed True Colors. They showed the first major chunk of gameplay here, showcasing the empath abilities of what Alex is her name.
Yep. Still looks really good. I really like the characters in this one.
Yeah, it took a little later for me, but because at first my only take was like, oh, so this just adds dialogue options. You know what I mean? Like in that example they showed where it's like you got to lock into this guy, and then it even said in the upper left corner, new dialogue options unlocked, to where it's like you kind of can go, hey buddy, are you, it almost reminds me of Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist.
Yeah, I know, I was just gonna say
where
that too.
that's a show where this character can hear people's inner thoughts through song, and so she'll see new dialogue unlocked. She'll come up to them and be like, hey, you seem a little down, and that's kind of like, is that all it's gonna amount to, which is fine, because these games are more about just the character interactions and the story beats. Too bad, bud. But then it's not. That was my first take, right? And yeah, this is very familiar. That's a lot of what the first game was. Picking having these major choke points and decisions, and seeing the ramifications of that.
I need to get back to work. Sure.
This time though, the big difference is you can't reverse time. Like that was the thing, is like you could reverse time sometimes to work through some choices. But yeah, then they mentioned this Nova thing, where when a character is experiencing some very strong emotions, it changes the world around you a little bit. You tap into some of their memories and
The root of the emotion.
yeah, and so that's engaging and different and cool.
Yeah.
I'm curious how you're working through it with them though. Like, are you communicating with them in some capacity, or are you just trying to quell the strong emotion, bring it down to a more manageable place, and then be able to communicate with them after that? I don't know. Either way, I love a game that's like, hey, the main power is empathy. Like when they announced that it was just such a cool, just a cool thing.
I agree. It's exciting. It'll be good to check out.
Yeah, and then having music in Life is Strange has always been a big deal. It's one of those games that encourages you to, as the Easy Allies have said in the past, take a knee. Take a moment and just take a breather. There was moments where you would sit down in your room and a whole song would just play. And so this time out, really exciting to then have a great indie artist, MXM Tune, providing the singing voice for the main character, so that it's coming from her internally, which is nice. Yeah, I think just to wrap up Life is Strange, really excited generally for what that's gonna be. And then last up was Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin. This leaked a little while ago, so it wasn't, again, as much as we want things to be big and exciting, so a lot of these things ended up being expected in this presentation. I think the biggest surprises were the Nier mobile game for me, and the Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster collection. But yeah, so this is a Team Ninja and Square Enix combined combat action game. Big Devil May Cry vibes in here. It's interesting because when this leaked, they had said it was almost going to be like a Souls-like, and I don't get that at all from the gameplay. If anything, yeah, Raggelmuffin had said it in the moment, and yeah, it feels almost entirely more like a Devil May Cry game from what I can see. A lot more combo heavy, a lot faster paced. A lot of the Souls games, you're very heavy. You take a swing and it's like you have to hit it, or else you're missing, and it's gonna take a minute for you to restore back to your starting state. So,
No doubt.
definitely not that kind of gameplay here at all. And then the reveal is here. The little twist is that this is all actually based in the Final Fantasy 1 kind of era. And you are the Warriors of Light fighting against Chaos. Fuck Chaos. We need to kill Chaos. They say it a lot in this trailer about how mad they are at Chaos and they need to destroy Chaos.
So is that like a known character from the universe, or?
I mean, it's in the first Final Fantasy game, you are. I think the Warriors of Light are fighting against Chaos, which again is supposed to be the embodiment of evil type thing. And so, yeah, it's interesting. The style aesthetic here is weird because it's high fantasy, but then again, the main character guy seems to be just wearing a Hanes button-up T-shirt. Like,
No, it's like a V-neck.
yeah, it's just a weird mix of styles going on here.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably cool for people who, like, play games in this universe. Because of all of the weird dialogue and, like, just the weirdness. It was weird for me. It was like, I'm actively not to this one. Whereas some were just passive,
You're just out
just like, okay, that
completely.
exists.
Yeah.
That trailer, like, completely turned me off.
Yeah.
Not that I probably would have played anyway, but
Yeah.
yeah, I found it really strange.
For sure. Yeah, so first two presentations of the day are done.
Done. That's a wrap.
Fern and I need to take a break, a breather. The next thing coming is the PC Gaming Show at 2:30. So we're gone for a whole hour.
Good little lunch break.
Yeah, good little lunch break here. So I was maybe going to keep the stream on, but I think I'll turn it off for an hour.
Okay.
So we will be gone for the next hour. We encourage you and invite you back at 2:30. We will, put out tweets and put out things all over the place to let people know when we're coming back. But we will take a break now and return with you at 2:30 for the PC Gaming Show. Tons of fun indies await, I'm sure, in that show.
Yeah, these next two are what I've been most excited for today. Actually, the Xbox and Bethesda one had a lot that surprised me and, gripped me. But what I was most looking forward to, and still I'm most looking forward to, is the PC one and, what's the other one?
The Future Games Show.
Future Game Show. Future.
Run by Games Radar. Hold on, chat. We got to bring this back up as our outro. Beautiful.
That was pretty much the vibe of the trailer.
Chaos. I love this man. It's beautiful. So yeah, come on back as we take a break. Do the same. Have some lunch. Stretch your legs out, hydrate, and we'll see you back here at 2:30. We'll go live probably about 2:15, just to talk about what we can expect from the event. And yeah, we'll be back here. So we'll see you again very soon, Fern.
See you soon.
Alrighty. Love y'all. Check out. Oh no, you know what? Hold on. You know what you can do in the time that we are away.
Oh, I know what they can do.
You can go to videogamesgood.com and read some of the new content, including we'll go ahead and share this. It's getting a little buzz today. Got retweeted by the official account. A mini preview I did for the game Frog Song, a game that was displayed or presented at the Wholesome Games Direct yesterday. That I saw there was a demo up. I figured I would give them an extra shout out and write up everything I could possibly find about it and my impressions from playing the game. It's a fun little Zelda-like, and so definitely worth checking out. So yeah.
We got a they them pro tag.
Yeah, non-binary frog pro tag. And then of course there's also the definitive tier list rankings of everything that was on display yesterday. Just a fun little mix-up on the coverage we're doing for E3. We're trying to do something a little bit different every day when we cover the E3 stuff. Still racking my brain to figure out exactly what I want to do today, but we'll figure it out.
Much to cover.
Yeah. Alrighty, we'll see you back here in an hour. Have a great lunch, everybody.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.